Hi friends and fellow Earth Angels, it's Gladys, and welcome back to another one of my weekly Sunday card readings. And this spread will start by covering December 20th to the 26th, or whenever you're guided to watch, as I always intend these to be timeless readings. So this week I decided to do two separate readings. So Christmas isn't until the end of the week, and I just didn't feel ready. Usually for my Christmas reading, I pull my Love and Light cards, which are like my God cards, Jesus cards, Mother Mary cards, and I just wasn't feeling ready to channel those messages yet. So this week, I've decided to channel messages from the angels. The angels are like messengers, guides, teachers. The angels have, they have such a special place in my heart for me, because when I started my journey, I had such a difficult time with accepting God and Jesus in my life. And I truly believe God sent his armies of angels. For me, it was specifically the Archangel Michael and the Archangel Raphael to work with me, to bring me back to higher light, higher wisdom. And I just feel a call to share messages with you from the angels this week. Maybe if you're finding yourself troubled or challenged, maybe this year looked very different from you, maybe this week, maybe your holiday will look very different. And I pray that these messages will offer you some comfort, as they have done for me for so many years. So I'm going to start by pulling from the Archangel Gabriel deck, and then the Archangel Raphael. I don't know how the lighting is in here. Angel Michael. Then I'm going to pull from the Archangel Animal deck. And so I'm going to pull 4 separate cards, and then under each one of those will be a message. So it's not necessarily going to be a pick a card reading, but 1, 2, or 3 of the 4 may resonate with you, and there might be one that may not. I feel like the angels have a lot to say. So to interpret the angel's message that comes out, I'm going to use, for each one, I'm going to pull a Cherub angel card, a crystal angel card, and then their prayer for you. So it's a special reading on a special week, and it may be a long reading. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull all the cards at once. So if it is a long reading, you can skip ahead if you don't have a lot of time and you're not really interested in watching me pull the cards. That way it's not interrupted and it will just all flow. So let me open up space. And I'm going to start with the Archangel Gabriel. So let me open up space, inviting in all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, the divine mother and father, and all their holy beings of light who would like to assist with this guidance for you today. Specifically, I want to connect with the archangel energy. And I'm going to ask that the messages that come through be for your best and highest good, and the best and highest good of all concerned. All right, so let me see. I'm channeling at a different time of day, so hopefully the lighting will be okay for us. All right, so I can see the sun peeking in. Let's see. So I'm going to pull a message from Angel Gabriel first. Okay, there it is. And then Raphael. What message do you have for the Earth Angels this week? And then Michael. And finally, the Archangel Animals. So let's get these situated. Actually, we might have to do this to get them all on camera. I'll put Gabriel over here. So, Gabriel, what message of love do you have? Okay, there's that one. That was quick. Okay, Raphael, what message of love do you have for your pile? Okay, so pull these two. Michael, what message of love do you have? And the Archangel Animal that was pulled. Whoa! Whoopee! So, I always think it's fun to watch how the cards come out because they usually flip and make it very clear. All right, Gabriel. What additional message do you have of healing? What message of healing? Because these are crystal angels. What message of healing do you have? Okay, so there's these. Raphael, what message of healing do you have? Again. Michael, what message of healing do you have? I don't know if you're seeing these. These are literally flipping right out. It kind of looks messy. It's like organized chaos. I swear you'll see as they unfold. It all makes sense. All right, Archangel Animal, what message do you have? What message of healing do you have? All right. And like I said, this is not a pick a card. All the messages could resonate. I just feel like angel love this week. So, Gabriel, what prayer do you have for us this week? And Raphael, what prayer do you have for us this week? And Michael, and the Archangel Animal. There we go. All right, friends. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so let's start with Gabriel's message. So his guidance is recognition. Interesting. So it says you and your accomplishments are receiving appreciation and honors. I just feel so much love here. So how do I want to unpack that? For some of you, you may have a hard time receiving, appreciating, honoring your journey and how far you've come. Sometimes we go through some really big things, some really difficult things, and can interpret it as you move through it as no big deal. And I feel like Archangel Gabriel this week is coming in to shine a light on your beautiful soul, your beautiful spirit, how far you've come, what you've overcome, where you're at in life, how you've gotten through some really hard things. This would be a really great week as you're in that place of gratitude to give yourself a pat on the back. For some of you, it might have been emotional and mental healing. For some of you, you may have gone through some very difficult things physically. And then for a lot of you, if you're part of my channel, have been going through some really deep spiritual healing. And so I feel like Gabriel is coming in this week to shine a light on how far you've come. And don't belittle that. Don't don't look at or encourage you not to look at somebody else's journey that can quote unquote appear more difficult and compare yourself. You and your accomplishments are receiving appreciation and honors. Remember, the path to self-healing, self-discovery, and spiritual growth for you to... Oh, my doorbell just rang. For you to... I feel like the angels are coming. It just showed up at my door. For you to overcome these things, for you to take the time to really dig into... Okay, pardon the interruption. I had to stop the video because obviously the person at the door wanted my attention. So it ended up being a delivery of a beautiful bouquet of Christmas flowers from my grandma, and she is amazing. So talk about recognition. Talk about when somebody gifts you flowers. Now, I love flowers. I buy flowers often, and it always... When somebody gifts you something that's beautiful and that grows and that... Talk about recognition, shines a light on your radiance. It is God's grace, right? So how powerful that as I'm channeling this message from the Archangel Gabriel, recognizing your work and mine as a Earth angel on the planet, doing this self-healing, this self-discovery, you're coming up on challenges and you're digging at them and you're growing through them. That's how you change the planet. That's how you shift the vibration, is that when you're on your own path of spiritual growth and you're overcoming things and moving through them and learning about yourself and discovering and changing the old ways of doing things, right? And becoming better as a human being, as a spiritual being. You then gift the world with that beautiful, radiant energy. And then you just naturally draw that in back, right? So that couldn't have come at a more perfect time. My grandma has taught me so much about life and about faith, about trust in God. I've gone through some really hard things and she is giving me amazing insights. So it's a perfect time for that wise, radiant energy coming in, and I just felt like it was recognition of love, right? So so beautiful. I will I wish I could share it with you. It's too big to like put on camera, but it really is a beautiful Christmas display. Maybe I'll post it on my social media. So anyway, let me get back into the reading. So his additional message, Gabriel's additional messages. Oh my gosh, call on the angels. So if you're having a hard time recognizing what you're learning from these difficulties or these challenges, call on the angels and ask them for assistance, ask them for guidance, ask them for support, right? The angels are saying, we're here for you. It's no coincidence that I've pulled all these powerful angel energy, and they say, call on the angels. You know, the spiritual journey is about repetition. It's about growth. It's a slow process. Remember, we've got a lifetime and then another lifetime and a lifetime and another lifetime for as long as we want it. So when you can have patience with yourself, give yourself some grace, like a grace period, right? When you think about when, let's say, a credit card company or a car company, or even this year with COVID, these companies have given you a grace period, like maybe 5 days, like past due. They give you this grace period. It's kind of like this forgiveness, like understanding that sometimes we make a mistake, sometimes we mess up, sometimes we don't get it right. So grace is that space, right, of forgiveness. and an opportunity to make it better, right? And kind of dig into it and saying, okay, how can I adjust to feel stronger, healthier, more vibrant, more alive, right? If we continue to annihilate ourselves, right? And then not understand why, or be hard on yourself or beat yourself up, I think, especially, I don't want to just pigeonhole one type, but especially with women, knowing that a large part of my channel are women watching, we can be conditioned with certain belief systems or expectations from society that adds a lot of pressure. Now, on the flip end, it's the same thing for the men who are watching. You have these very high standards and expectations from the world to provide, to make a living, to really come into like that whole be a man, don't show emotions and feelings, and that energy is just really softening on both vibrations in the masculine and feminine, and we're working with both those energies within ourselves, right? Because we embody both of them within ourselves. So the angels are saying you don't have to do it alone. If you're really struggling with, like, I don't see my progress, I don't see my growth, I'm still going through the same things, I still don't have that job, that relationship, that health, freedom, that financial security, that, that understanding of spirituality, give yourself some grace and understand that you are moving towards and shifting things so that you can align with something, an experience that's more in alignment with the essence of who you are, which is really trusting God to lead the way. So there's 2 messages of healing. So we have Ruby, bless your heart. It kind of reminds me of like an older lady, like, oh, bless your heart, child, bless your heart. It says, it says, reach out for emotional and spiritual support to heal and mend your heart, right? So the angels are saying, like, if you're grieving anything, this is a tough year, it was challenging, but I don't want to say it in a negative way, and I don't want to perpetuate more negativity. I mean, it was a tough year, meaning things had to change. The world is changing as a whole. There is a whole new vibration on December 21st. We have this winter solstice that's coming in, and the alignment of the planets for the next, I don't know how many years. And it's a major alignment in the stars, in the astrology. It is the expansion of something and the change of something. So we're going into an energy that's unknown, and that can activate a lot of fear with people. But the unknown can be incredible, right? The unknown. And many of you who have been watching this channel are the leaders of that, even though you may not feel it. So, heart healing. If we continue to be guarded for fear of being persecuted, being judged, and not opening up vulnerably. Now, you always want to practice boundaries with that, because there are just some people who don't know how to support that vulnerability. And so I feel like the angels are saying, come to us if you're feeling like you want to shut down, where you don't want to love people, or you don't want to get hurt, or you don't want to be disappointed. Of course, when we try to initiate and create something new, there's this fear of, okay, I'm going to change. Are people going to accept me, right? So the angels are saying, for some of you, heart healing this week, right? Recognizing the beautiful heart, the gift of service that you offer the world just by being a radiant, beautiful soul. And so the angels are saying, maybe if you're feeling alone this week or sad, call on the angels to help you feel whole and complete. And who knows, you might have flowers delivered at your door. You might have some blessing, right? So when those flowers came, my instant reaction was like my heart just exploded and opened up, where an old part of me might have said, I'm not worthy of this. This is too much. She shouldn't have. But I know this is her way of showing love, and I want to receive that love, and I can't wait. After this video, I'm going to get on the phone and call her up, and we'll probably have some laughs and some really special talk. So know that there's an incredible amount of heart energy expanding, which when it does, it can bring up some challenges. It can bring up some shadow stuff. And that's the gift of learning. That's the gift of digging in. Okay, so let's see. The second card here is spiritual protection. See, it says you are being watched over and protected physically, emotionally, and energetically. There's a reason why the words physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, these vibrations keep coming up, because the angels, Gabriel's kind of shining a light on the layers. So even though you might not see it in the physical, understand that things are shifting and happening in the spiritual, the mental, emotional, that you may not even be aware of. So you can use this, is it Cherub? Energy. It's beautiful purple, right? Purple is the spiritual color. It's the crown chakra. It could also be interpreted as the third eye here with the indigo light that's here. So stepping into your full spiritual power. Let me see here. I feel like maybe next year you're going to be called to service on a deeper level, and the angels are shining a light on your specialness, your uniqueness, your heavenly vibration, and knowing that you don't work alone. You know, I think about Mother Teresa, and she went out, she dedicated her life to service of the people, the sick, the poor. Gosh, the things that she must have seen, the suffering she may have witnessed. But yet she was a beacon of light that brought kindness, brought miracles, brought compassion, and brought love to people in their darkest times. And I really think that's the energy that the world is going to need from us, right? We're going to see some things, we're going to experience some things, right? And it's not about the judgment of God, right? It's about how can I be of service with an open heart, knowing that I'm spiritually protected, that I have an army of angels working with me. How can I show up and be of service as a powerful earth angel on this planet? And you don't have to do anything. God will send those people to you. You know, when I do my mediumship work, I always tell clients that find me, listen, I'm not for everybody. I'm not the type of medium that really wants to be in the spotlight or on TV. It's just not like something that I'm called to personally. I'm a Cancer. I like to be home. I like to be in my little sacred container. And I always know that when people find me, that their loved ones picked me for whatever reason to deliver messages that are going to speak to their heart. And it's always so incredibly powerful and moving. And there is a reverence, or there's an honor, there is a sacredness, there's a miracle to the messages that get channeled. And for a very long time, I was in the space of denial. Oh, it's no big deal. It's just what I do. And this last year and a half, I've been kind of coming into the magnitude of the gift that God has gifted me, not from a place of ego specialness, but as a place of purpose and the pull and the passion of wanting to be part of helping people heal in their most darkest time of their life. You know the calling when emergency responders are running into a burning building when everybody else is running away, right? When nurses were running into the hospitals to help when everybody else was running away. You know that is a divine inspired call to action from Creator. And I really feel that's what's coming for 2021. And so the prayer, a miracle of nature. It says, thank you, angels, for helping me to reconnect through nature and fresh air. So I think this is part of the self-healing, right? And filling up and recharging your energy is Mother Nature is coming in and saying, I'm here with you. Get outside, get some fresh air if you feel like you need a reset. If you're feeling like you're getting pulled into that have tos and shoulds, and you're feeling angry and like weird things are happening, you're bumping your elbow and like just having like mini accidents, or you're feeling short or angry or aggressive, just know that in those moments you may need to eat. I always say that with Archangels. We need to have our protein, whatever that translates to you. You need to drink your water and eat like on a regular basis, because it's just showing your energies like out of alignment. And like I said, if you're still feeling that way, get outside, get some fresh air. So I love how Mother Nature has come in and she's saying, come to me, right? This kind of reminds me of a lotus flower, right? Reconnect through nature and fresh air. It's been so beautiful. It's snowed. I don't know. I think we got like 18 to 24 inches here in Rhode Island of snow. And today it's like this glorious sunny day. It always happens after snowstorms where we have this glorious sunny day and everything starts melting. And it just felt amazing to be outside in the crisp, cool air and just see the beauty of the white and the trees and the icicles melting. And that 5 minutes alone just revitalized my entire system. So again, if you're feeling the weight of the burdens of the world, or you're feeling the weight or the pressure of your calling, right? If you're feeling that, Mother Nature is calling you out to bring you back to the present moment, to see the glory, the gifts, and the growth that's happening all around you. So beautiful messages from Gabriel. All right, let's pull out Raphael. I don't know what that looks like here. All right, Raphael, what do you have? Stay positive. Well, that's simple. It sounds so simple, right? It says, Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for helping me be optimistic and take the appropriate action steps that support my health. I love it. So let me see here. So I just wanted to see what was on his necklace. He has the caduceus. So this is like the medical symbol of healing. Archangel Raphael is emerald green. He's the angel of miracles. So this could relate to some of you who may be, again, I don't know how these are all going to unfold. This could have been somebody who, like Gabriel with purpose, struggling or challenged with purpose. And this seems like health challenges right now. So a great prayer, again, you can screenshot this if you're struggling with physical ailments, if you have family members that are struggling physically with health challenges. It says, Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for helping me to be optimistic and take the appropriate action steps that support my health. For some of you, this is specific to some of you. You may be on a course of maybe you're being called to take certain medicines or certain protocols or do certain things, and there's something inside of you that might be feeling in disharmony with it, or it doesn't feel right. There's nothing wrong with getting a second or third opinion. There's nothing wrong with exploring options. Now, I'm not telling anybody just jump off medication, or I'm not saying like just throw all caution to the wind, but if there's some inkling inside of you that just doesn't feel right about your course of action, pause. Because what could happen is you could take a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and you can kind of come together. So Archangel Raphael is saying, call on me and I can assist you to bring in the right people, places, things, and ideas that can assist you physically. Remember, one thing leads to another, and any challenge that we have, it's an opportunity to grow. It's an opportunity to learn, and remembering that the difficulty that you're feeling is only temporary, right? Like everything comes and happens in waves. So for some of you specifically with this, is there may be another course of action, or there might be other things that you can add in or make adjustments with if you're feeling despondent, if you're feeling stuck. Let me see here. If there are any of you out there that are being guided to cleanse and detox, this isn't about weight. This isn't about like losing, the COVID, whatever, 15, 10, 5, 1, whatever. This is not what it's about. It's not about a physical 3D thing. But if you're feeling guided to detox or cleanse from drama TV, from like social media, from, foods that aren't making you feel good, and that's different for everybody. Trust that inclination, right? And if you find you're maybe addicted to that stuff, right? Oh man, I'm thinking about it. Oh, I'm so drawn to it. Oh, it's so hard. Call on the Archangel Raphael and ask him for assistance. I feel like this is getting your body ready for the new energies that are coming in December 21st. And then as we I almost see like on a ski slope as we ski into 2021, whatever that means. So, additional messages, homework and artwork. I love it. Let's see here. Yes. So this is do your homework, do your research. For those of you who may be having physical challenges, physical ailments, maybe you're taking a non-traditional approach to your healing, right? Maybe you've tried the gluten-free, the dairy-free, maybe you've tried all these things and it just doesn't feel like you're progressing. Call on the Archangel Raphael. Ask him to do the homework, right? It's no coincidence that there's this little girl here looking through a book, almost like doing research here. Excuse me. And then artwork. So for this, it feels like creativity. Sometimes we can get so caught up in the work of something, the have-tos, the shoulds, the problem solving, the figuring things out. How can you divert for a little bit, maybe create some space for the divine intervention? How can you maybe divert and create something, whether it's music, whether it's artwork? I've been baking and cooking. I've been very much enjoying creating through food. Now, for somebody like me who has struggled with eating disorders my entire life, the joy that I'm getting from food, eating healthy food, putting all different kinds of vegetables together and spices, and really embracing it is a sense of joy for me that I've never allowed myself to experience. And so for me, that's my art. I love taking pictures of food. I love the taste of food. And there's a freedom in it. So it doesn't necessarily have to be, maybe you're not a color person or you're not a paint person. There are many different ways to create. Let's see here. Additional messages of healing. Tanzanite, ready to love again. You've healed from the past enough to open your heart to new love. This could be self-love, right? Love of your body, love of your physical self, love of your path and the journey that you're on. Sometimes we can kind of fall into that trap. Why me? Excuse me. Why me? What's wrong with me? How come I can't figure this out? We can go to that place, and I think that's where Raphael is shining a light on stay positive. But that doesn't mean, excuse me, I had to grab some water. That doesn't mean stuff your feelings. It doesn't mean don't acknowledge that you're in a negative space. You can pray and ask the Archangel Raphael to help shift your vibe, download you with his emerald green light, the angel of miracles, right? The angel of healing to assist you. And so sometimes kind of diverting our attention from that negative space that we're in. Maybe it's research, knowledge is power. Again, my throat is really dry. It's probably the candle. But also too, it could be connected with throat chakra stuff, right? So being able to love again is like, how can you fall back in love with life again? How can you fall back in love with God again? How can you fall back in love with Mother Nature again, yourself again, especially after many of you have gone through like incredible change and shifts in your life. So the next card is a Jade. Wellness. Wow, the recovery of health and wellness is here. Again, there's the caduceus. I mean, this is what I mean about the miracle. Come on. I mean, this is so powerful. I don't know if you can see there. And I definitely wanted to bring attention to it in the beginning. And now we have the symbol. He's like, all right, so if you didn't see it, I'm just going to make it bigger for you. And he's saying wellness, the recovery of health and wellness is here for you. So expect a miracle. Like, look up with open arms, open wide. I also feel like be open to the way the healing comes. You could be focusing so much intention on it's got to be this way, but you could take a little bit of this and a little bit of that. You could take a little bit of traditional and you can take a little bit of new age or holistic and create your own like healing experience that can eventually help others. Wow. I'm kind of blown away by that. I mean, I think every reading blows me away. So the prayer for you, oh my gosh. Ready to love again. You're healed from past enough to stay open your heart to new love. And this says, love and accept yourself. Thank you, angels, for lovingly guiding me to self-acceptance. I mean, this is just reiterating these messages. Do your homework. Knowledge is power. Get more information. Talk to people. If you're really stuck in that really place of honoring and what's the point energy, shift it. Listen to some music. Create something, right? Keep yourself busy in a sense of not ignoring or stuffing your feelings, but just leaving room and leaving space for the Holy Spirit, you know? There's this energy in Christianity when Jesus, the symbolism that Jesus dies on the cross and then 3 days later he's resurrected. So the idea is there's this death and then in 3 days there's this glory, there's this resurrection. So if you're on something of an ending, a completion, you're feeling despondent, you're feeling like, oh, it's over, what am I going to do? Give it 3 days. Give it space, pray, call in the Holy Spirit, ask for assistance, and then heal, and then comfort yourself, get in bed, nurture yourself. Maybe it is wallowing. Maybe it is diving into some ice cream. Maybe it is getting into bed crying. Maybe it's listening to sad songs, right? Tears cleanse the soul, whatever gets you there. Without judgment, attachment, expectation, you'd be amazed when you give something space how miracles unfold. So this could be a message for you now. Couldn't be something that you just came through, right? And that's where the love stuff is coming in. And how do you love your body if it looks different, right? Maybe your body has changed in some way. How do you love yourself and accept yourself with where you're at, with what you look and what you feel, right? Knowing that you're on the pathway to growth and it will get better over time. Wow. That was cool. All right, so let's get into Michael's message. Thank you, Raphael. Whoops, I dropped a card. That's all right. All right, Mike, Big Mike. I would say he's the boss, right? He's the bodyguard. Energy healing work. I love it. It says, thank you for sending healing energy to me and through me for my own blessings and for all those around me. Thank you for connecting me to loving and high integrity healers and teachers of energy healing modalities. So Gabriel recommended that. Where did he say that? Oh yeah, reach out for emotional and spiritual support to heal and mend your heart. So I feel like this is coming back here. Michael is reminding you that you don't need to go through the experiences you're going through alone. I mean, I am a huge advocate for talk therapy. Just being able to hash things out from to a mentor, to a teacher, to a guide, to a therapist, to a spiritual advisor. There is power in being able to express the trash or garbage or yuckiness that's inside of you, right? There's like, how do I describe it? There is a power in being able to unravel, that's the word, unravel that bind of energy that's inside from experiences that you've had. And I feel like Michael is reminding you that there are beautiful healers and mentors. If you're not sure, call on the angels. That was said where? It was here somewhere, right? Call on the angels and ask for their assistance to send you to somebody that can be of support and assistance. Now listen, doesn't mean that you have to work with this person every week for months and months and months, right? Just one session. And this doesn't even have to be like somebody that you pay. My grandma, she's a beautiful soul that I call on. Call her and call on when I'm hashing something out, she's got a lot of life experience. She's 85, God bless her heart, right? So she's a beautiful soul for me to call on and tap into that wisdom. And she loves me so much. I love her so much. And I trust that she hears me, she listens to me, and she supports me, right? There's some power in talk therapy. Like I said, it could be a traditional way, and I feel like Michael is reminding you that there are loving, high integrity healers and teachers. Maybe you're that person. And Michael is saying maybe you're struggling with making a change in your own job. Maybe you want to add in a variation into your career. Maybe you've been on this course and you want to make some changes. Michael is reminding you that he's the guardian of the light. He's working with you, and fears can come up with that, right? Oh God, what are my peers going to say? It kind of reminds me of Brian Weiss. He is the past life regressionist. I trained with him for 5 days and 2016 I trained with him, and 16 or 17, it doesn't matter. Anyway, he was a doctor in the very traditional world of science, a psychologist, right? He worked at I want to say Mount Sinai. I don't know if that's right. No, was it Beth Israel? I don't know. Sorry, it doesn't matter. Details aren't important. Anyway, he was in this very medical, traditional world, but in his private practice, he was working with a patient of his who is opening him up to a whole new dimension, a whole new world of past life regression and how there's healing there, right? This is exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe you're considering embarking on a very different journey that your colleagues and peers may not understand. Maybe your family members, right? Maybe your husband or your wife or your partner or your children. Maybe you're about to embark on this. I always say check in with your heart, check in with the calling of your heart. I'm taking a course right now. It's about women in ministry. And one of the things the pastor talks about is that your calling usually comes from a burden on your heart. And for me, women in ministry has been a challenge for me because, the way the world is, there are some blocks, there are some hurdles for women in ministry. And that's just kind of the way things have been. And, sometimes I think my burden is, well, who am I, right? Who am I to change that? Who am I to express? Who am I to step into this ministry? And what does that even mean? And does it have to be this way? Because it doesn't feel right. So, I'm using that as an example because maybe you're getting this burden on your heart or this weight, and you're like, God, I want to change things. And man, I keep seeing this and it just seems overwhelming. And, God is pulling at you, right? All you have to do is accept the invitation. Answer the call, right? So about a month ago, I had an experience with a church that I was going to, and I just really struggled with it. And I was like, God, this is a burden on my heart. It just doesn't feel right. I don't know what to do about it. It seems too big. And then, I've been praying on it, and I've been seeking other support and other spiritual guidance. And then this course comes along, Women in Ministry. And it just really ignited my fire. And the pastor is he's kind of like a spiritual father for me. And he's just so empowering, so inspirational, right? And encouraging. And I'm like, this is the mentorship, or this is the support that I needed in my life. So know that maybe you've got a burden on your heart right now, and you're feeling this pull, or you're feeling this overwhelm with this mission that you're being called to. Is really, it seems, right? The ego saying it seems too big, right? Open space, and Michael's saying, let me assist you. And for me, it's starting with taking a class, right? And then one thing leads to another. So I was going to announce this at the end of the video, but I'm going to say it now. So as I'm taking this course, every year I would speak at a spiritualist church, and I would do their New Year's service. So it would always be the Sunday before New Year's. Well, unfortunately, because of capacity and the size of the church, they had to close. And so one of the attendees who's been going every year to see my message, and she messaged me and she said, I'm really sad that I'm not going to be able to see you this year. I would always look forward to your messages, right? So here I am taking this course, understanding how can I reach people? How can I work with this ministry that I feel is like a pull on my heart? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can do it online. So on December 27th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am going to do my first Facebook and Instagram Live. So I've got my computer, my laptop, and I've got my phone. So I got to figure out how to make all this happen. So this is what I mean about one thing leads to another. Now, I don't know what's going to come of that, right? I'm going to share my insight from this year, and then guidance into what's some things that are coming for 2021 to support you. And that's how it works. So one thing leads to another. All we have to do is be open to support in whatever way it's going to come. Okay. So see, have faith in God's miracles. Sometimes the journey can seem too big, too much, too overwhelming, right? Sometimes the healing can be like, oh my gosh, there's so much, or oh, I've got to do so much and experience. I don't even know where this is going to happen. Or maybe it's a weight loss. Maybe it is, learning something. Maybe it is trying something new that can be overwhelming and scary. Have faith in God's miracles. And of course, we have Archangel Raphael, who is the angel of miracles. So I feel like this is a message for some of you who may have been struggling with insecurities, right? They said it all here: self-acceptance, self-love, right? Love and accept yourself for who you are. You came here to be different, to be the light of God, whatever that means for you. When I say God, for me, embodies the Divine Mother and the Divine Father, the yin yang energy, the whole. And so, we're coming into this space where this year was all about our own self-healing and what needed to be strengthened. So I feel like as we go into 2021, we're going to share those things and help, lead the people. So, additional message here. Message of healing. Turquoise. Spiritual path. I'm telling you, friends, your true beliefs are becoming clearer to you, which prompts you to make necessary life change. Yes, this is talking about the calling, right? So God calls you through a burden, right? A challenge, something you struggle with. So maybe it's a loophole. Maybe it's something that you see through your work. And like I said, for me, it's like women women in ministry. And I mean, honestly, the reality is being taken seriously as a woman. I know there's a lot of people out there like, oh no, we're making waves, but really in the very 3D traditional world, it can still be a challenge. Now, that is not me saying, poor me, womp womp. That is me understanding obstacles and then also saying, I'm going to change that. Something's going to happen. And what will happen is we'll just kind of shift the vibration, right? We're kind of going to wholeness. So part of it is recognizing the obstacles, understanding it, and then strategically saying, okay, God, show me how to move around it. There's the sirens on top of it. So, your spiritual path and your calling might seem difficult. Now here's the thing too. One of the things is I've seen a lot of people in this field start businesses and come and go. One thing about my journey is I've always been consistent. If I start something, I'm consistent with it for as long as I feel guided, and then I'll shift into something else. So, for example, my YouTube channel, committing to one video a week, right? Sometimes I add in the pick a cards, but I'm consistent and I continue to show up in my subscription program. We do 2 classes a month, right? I'm still kind of developing what that is. And so 2 classes a month, there's consistency in it. So understand that your spiritual journey, and if you're being called to be a spiritual advisor, a life coach, understand and accept it's going to take time. That is just the way it works, right? Because each experience you have grows on the other. So I think I mentioned this in one of my readings last week that, a lot of times when you see people in their height, in their like glory, right? So you think Joyce Meyer, you think Joel Osteen, or whom else? Maybe it's actors, or maybe it's people who are writers, writing books, and people who are maybe public speaking. You have to understand you're seeing them in their results, right? The result of getting up every single day and sticking through the prayer, the dedication, the challenges, right? When you open up to the spiritual journey, you can't not self-heal. That is part of it, because the authentic teacher teaches from experience, right? That's where empathy comes in and compassion, to know and understand. That's the spiritual journey. So again, your true beliefs are becoming clearer to you, which prompts you to make necessary life changes. What burdens are on your heart? What challenges? What weaknesses do you see? Maybe what if you think about the underdog, right? What discriminations do you see? Or what, what's the word? What, it almost feels like injustices, right? How can you empower others to become stronger? So what I get really challenged with is women, empowering women, right? Overcoming the challenges and the burdens of the world, the programming, the conditioning, right? That we have to be, act, look a certain way in order to be validated. And so, I mean, my life is so not traditional. I'm so so opposite of a traditional course. And that was a really hard thing for me for a long time that I had to really work on accepting. That was me this year, self-healing. And so you're here to be the example, right? That's your spiritual journey. That's your spiritual path. And then because of that, you can offer guidance, support, and assistance to others who are struggling with it. Maybe you were in an abusive relationship. Maybe you had a really horrible job. Maybe you've really struggled with financial insecurity. Maybe you've really been struggling with spirituality and faith and understanding, and all of a sudden things have shifted. You can then take that information and share it with other people to empower them as well, which lessens the impact and speeds up the recovery process. But like I said, I always say call on the angels, ask them for assistance, ask God to open the doors for you so that you're moving clearly with an open heart. And take time to breathe. I think that's for me too. Thank you, angels. I breathe with ease, knowing you're here. Once again, call on the angels, right? They're here working with you. Take time to breathe. This is what I was talking about space earlier, right? Give space when we implement things or we integrate things or we have an experience, an aha moment, right? So many of you are so wonderfully powerful that you want to get going. You want to get moving. You want that business to grow really fast. You want to have like results with your health. You want to, right, see that debt go down. But, when somebody builds a home brick by brick, they have a solid foundation that lasts forever, right? That hammer, that nail, that very sturdy, strong concrete that takes time. So many of you are building. One step leads to another, So take time to enjoy and breathe through the stages of construction. Like I just keep seeing a house being built. And maybe some of you are actually having a house built. Take time, instead of being so focused on the end result and what everything's going to look like, take time to enjoy the stages. Take time, especially at the end of 2020, take some moments to just really reflect back and appreciate the stage, what you've overcome, and be able to appreciate and enjoy things as they are now. And then from there, you have this place of inner peace, inner stillness. You have this place of feeling satiated, feeling like bliss, feeling whole. And then from that place, you then create and align with more of that, or something even better. So the breath and the pause and the reflection and owning that space and really admiring, there's nothing glorious than going and building a house and breaking ground, right? Take that shovel and you break ground. And then you go back and you revisit it. And now there's a big hole and there's concrete. And there's like success in that. Like, yes, I have my foundation. And then you go back maybe months later and you see the wood structure of the house, right? You start getting an idea of what it's going to look like. Maybe the stairs are in. Maybe you're starting to see the rooms, right? This is kind of like the spiritual journey. So really take time to savor and appreciate all the stages you're in, because they're all important and there's all valuable information in all of those. So the pause is very, very powerful. The breath, the space in between the action is incredibly powerful and enlightening and healing. All right, so thank you, Michael. Let's see here. And we'll finish with the unconditional love vibration of the animals. Let's see here. I'm never going to get these straight. I'm just going to make it worse. All right, let's see here. All right, the animal archangel that came up. Yes, butterfly. It says, be ready to transform with wisdom. Yes, that's what I was just talking about, right? And it's the Archangel Praminelek. So let's see here. This is the glory. This is spreading your wings and flying. This is the result, right? This is the patience, the time, the energy. Butterflies always represent new beginnings, transformations. I don't know about you, and if you have been, leave me a comment below. I have been inundated with ones. I keep seeing 1111. On my phone, I'll have like one text message. I'll have 11 emails. I'll have one notification for this app. I'll have 11 notifications for this app. And it specifically happened a lot on 1111 for me as well. So it's a representation of new beginnings, right? A new portal of energy is open. So stay positive, right? Stay positive about the things that you want in your life. Meaning, when we're grateful when I was grateful for that 5 minutes of sunshine and fresh air this morning, I aligned to more of that in my life, right? When I savored and appreciate that, now look, I had beautiful flowers delivered. And what's so interesting is I have some flowers that have carnations and these beautiful roses that I'm hoping to put out for the Christmas reading. And I was just really admiring the red and the carnation. And I was like, oh, this has to be in this reading. It's so beautiful. And then because I was enjoying it so much, guess what? Now I have a whole big bouquet of these red, white Christmas flowers that are just gorgeous. So it's almost like aligning more of this or something even better, and it just kind of escalates and you get the ball rolling. So know that you're discovering when that butterfly comes out with its wings. I heard something or somewhere, I forget where I heard it, but it said butterflies don't hang out with caterpillars, right? So butterflies spread their wings. They don't stay where they were born or they came out of the chrysalis. They fly away and they go discover a new world. And I feel like that is what you're going to be embarking in, discovering a whole new world, which also can be uncertainty, unknown. This is where faith comes in and trust in the divine and getting through some really hard things and listening to your intuition and your inner guidance and that pull, that calling, right? Because you're about to fly into this new world, this new vibration, this new energy. How that's going to look, nobody knows, right? So, additional message. I mean, how many times? Right? How many times can they say it over and over and over again? That is the heart of it all, friends. That's the heart of it all. Now, when I was on the pathway to loving myself, I remember saying, I do love myself. But I wasn't being kind to myself. I wasn't aware of the critical masculine energy inside of me, the bully. I wasn't aware of that narcissistic, you're doing it wrong, you'll never get it right, part of me that's hard on my journey, right? There's this part of me that kept saying, you've got to do better, you've got to do more, this is not enough, you should be you should be moving faster, you should be doing this, and you should be doing that, your life should look this way. I wasn't aware of that self-chatter until I did some really deep work. And so as much as I was saying, I am loving myself, my mental chatter was saying differently, right? So sometimes we have to take a good hard look at the voice. So really a good way to know is if you're, and there's no judgments on this. I'm not saying this is good or bad, but if you're judging other people or you're critical of other people, and this is just a pause to reflect, right? If you're looking at the world outside of you saying it should be a different way, or it should look a certain way, or this should act like this, or this should do that, chances are there may be this voice inside of you that might be critical of your own journey or critical of the way you do things. There could be a perfectionist inside of you, right? That might be stopping you from taking this journey, for taking these leaps of faith. It has to be perfect or it has to be right? So remember, mistakes are an opportunity to learn and grow. The learning process is difficult, it's uncomfortable, it's annoying, it's confusing, right? So some of you may need to have more patience with where you're at, right? I expected this year to look very differently, and I had to surrender into what was. And now that I'm at the end of 2020, I'm like, oh my God, I needed that rest. My soul needed that break. There were weeks where I just kind of slept for days. And I needed that so badly. And for part of it, I was so judgmental, calling myself lazy. Like, you have so much to do. You need to get this done. And oh man. And then it started creating people around me saying, well, what are you doing? And how come this? And how come that? I'm like, oh boy. All right. That also too is a part of loving and valuing yourself and your journey and where you're at. You have to really trust God's process and his divine timing. That ego part of you wants to go fast, wants to have the big business or the many followers or the body to look a certain way, or your bank account to look a certain way, or your job to look a certain way. And if we can get into that place of self-acceptance, right? I accept this is where I'm at. And from there, doesn't mean you have to stay there, but from that place of acceptance, being able to accept what things look and feel right, and saying, okay, God, from here, help me, guide me, support me in moving forward one step at a time, right? One thing will lead to another, will lead to another. So some of you are in the place of, you've come out into this new world. Some of you are embarking on new journeys. Maybe you're frustrated, maybe you're annoyed, maybe you're aggravated because you're used to knowing things and you're used to being good at things, but your life is different. How can you love and value the journey that you're on and just be kind? Be kind and forgiving the space you're at. All right, so the message of healing, calcite, busy times and multitasking. Take charge of your schedule during this busy time and honestly assess your underlying reasons for being busy, right? So we live in a world, talk about like conditioning. We live in a world that prizes and glorifies being quote unquote busy. You know, when people say, oh, how's business? Instantly, the ego says, oh, I'm so busy. Wow. Is that truly beneficial? Are you maxed out? Are you tired? Are you overwhelmed? Are there other things? There's nothing wrong with being consistent. There's nothing wrong with being steady, flowing, moving. But when we glorify being busy, meaning there's not time for anything and everybody's pulling at us and everybody else has needs that need to be met, it's only a matter of time before you crash, right? It's only a matter of time before you're like, I can't function, I can't move, I'm tired, I'm scared, my inner child just wants to cry all the time and I don't understand why. So understand that you're coming out into this new world. Maybe you've had this calling on your heart to grow and expand and learn and evolve. And the universe is saying, have patience with your journey. Have patience and really break free from this need to be busy and multitasking all the time, right? It's not helpful. You know, I spent 13 years of my life hustling because that's what I thought I needed to do. I didn't know any other way. I was raised by a single mother, God bless her heart, who worked every single day and night of her life to keep food on the table for us. And that's all I knew. And I couldn't understand why I was a hot mess. And I say that in the most endearing, loving, self-acceptance way. But I was able to dig into it. And now I value so much nothingness. I value stillness and pause because despite it all, I'm still financially secure. I'm still stable. I'm still supported. I'm still have a client flow. I still have time with friends, right? Despite nothingness, despite pauses and breaks. You'd be amazed how when you honor your soul, there's more money and less work. That's been a mantra of mine for a long time. More money, less work. Not because I'm lazy, but because I really enjoy my freedom. And so when you can embody that, it's like It's like Jesus that turned wine into wine into wine, right? You know, the wine just multiplied and multiplied. The fish just multiplied and multiplied. When you're in your divine alignment, when you're answering the call of your heart, your resources multiply almost by magic, right? It's kind of like pass the basket and everybody will be fed. Everybody will be able to eat the bread, eat the fish, drink the wine, right? That's the new vibration we're stepping into. Outside of the hustle, the grind, even those words sound like just daunting. So this is speaking to some of you coming out of that space of pressure, loving and valuing yourself and just honoring rest, pause, reflection, right? That 3-day space of knowing that you're coming into a new world, new vibration, new energy. And then, okay, I don't even know how long we've been going. Final card here. This is it, friends. 2021, right? It all kind of comes together. Leap of faith. I'm ready to take a leap, angels. Thank you for doing it with me. There's no coincidence that there's wings out here. Wings open up here. So wings out, right? We have these beautiful energies. So remember your wings. And what's interesting is the symbolism of this card is this angel is taking a leap of faith. And listen, the imagery of the card means she's taking the leap of faith up. Her heart is open and her hands are up to the sky. When we think about leap of faith, think about your imagery. Are you imagining jumping off a cliff and going down? When we take a leap of faith, we go up. Energetically, spiritually, physically, we go up in vibration. So a leap of faith doesn't mean down or falling. It means up leveling and flying up. I love the symbolism of this card because it's so amazing, because usually we see the depiction of a cliff, like a leap of faith, right? And there's this fear of going down. But this angel is saying, no, the leap of faith is up. You're up leveling, friends, right? You're shedding old skin. You're shedding baggage that's been weighing you down. And now you're able to go up and expand and grow and fly and jump mountains, right? It's so powerful. I love it. All right. And then, like I said, give yourself some grace, some space as we finish out this year. Wow, I'm really glad I did that. So I will do another Christmas reading. I'm hoping to put it out on Christmas Eve. So if you want to be connected to that, subscribe to my channel. Maybe if you want to hit that notification, I'm pretty sure you get like an email saying that I posted a new video. If you liked this video, let me know. If there were parts that really resonated with you, if there was a specific angel that really resonated with you, let me know. Let me know in the comments, you know, what pile really supported you. It'll help me understand on where the collective is at. Again, this is a long reading, so, you know, there's a lot of information here. So again, take in what resonates and dump the rest. Let me close space for us. Thanking all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, the divine mother and father, and all their holy beings of light that assisted with this guidance. Especially the archangels and the archangel animals that came in. And I'm going to ask for that any healing that was started to continue for as long as it needs to be done. So I am still booking remote sessions. If you know somebody who could benefit from a session, I will put a link to my gift card. At this point, I'm not mailing out physical gift certificates, but you can print them out online or you can email them to your friend, your family member. Maybe it's a gift of mediumship, maybe it's a life purpose session, maybe it's a divine guidance, maybe they're into angels. That's how I started, with an angel reading and connecting with the Archangel Michael. So that was the beginning of my journey. The link is down below. And then also too, if you're curious more about listening into my 2021 New Year's celebration service, follow me on Instagram at Growing with Gladys, or my Heavenly Hugs page, my Facebook page, which is Heavenly Hugs. And I'm assuming you'll get a notification when I go live on the 27th. So, all right, friends, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. I know this is a lengthy reading, but I feel like it needed to be had at the end of the year. I love you. God loves you so much. Trust in the divine, trust your intuition, and I send you love with heavenly hugs. Bye for now.